Who isn't hiring today? And how do you make sure your new hires actually stick? Well, let's talk through 3 ways today to ensure that your new hire is a success. Good afternoon, Thomas Joyner with Business on Purpose here. Just excited that you're here joining. So I recently sat in on a coaching meeting with a business who had made some really important hires, but they're just frustrated. You know, it seems like they're just spinning their wheels, they said. They haven't really begun to own their job yet, and I feel like I'm doing half their work for them. Well, tell me how you kind of set them up. Tell me what that looked like. And immediately it got very quiet. They realized they hadn't done close to enough to set them up well to succeed in the new role. And this story really is all too common. We know we need to set our employees up and our new hires up for success, but we just don't do it for some reason. Now, many of the times it's because we don't know exactly what we want them to own when we make the hire. We realize that we're overwhelmed and we think that more manpower will immediately help the problem, but that's nowhere close to true. Well-equipped manpower, well-trained manpower will help, but throwing more manpower at the problems like handing somebody a bike with a flat tire and telling them you can get somewhere faster now. Yes, that's true. But you need to pump up the tires and give them all the tools that they need to succeed before they can truly get where they need to go. So what do we need to do to ensure that our new hires thrive, not just survive? Well, it's what we all want to know because everyone is hiring. So here's 3 ways that you can ensure that your new hires actually succeed in their role. The first, we always say this, you're going to laugh, it's writing out a job role. It must start here. So often we make a hire and we put a few thoughts down and wing it as new employees start. Well, we'll just see what they're good at, we say, and instead of asking, what does the business need them to do? No, that question should inform you of what needs to go on the job role. We've got to ask, what does the business need them to do? So write it all out. What are they responsible for owning? What does their day-to-day look like? You can even script out their first 2 to 3 weeks if you want. Every hour, so they never have to guess what they should be reading, or they should never have to guess what they should be doing. Because if it's not written down, it doesn't exist. And so that means if you don't write a job role down for a new hire, they will never know what they're held responsible for. Unless you make a 1 in a million hire, they will never accomplish what you actually hired them to do in the first place. But if you write down the job role, if you can tweak it as needed and train on their responsibilities, you guarantee that they will, at the very least, will know what they're being asked to do. Second thing, build out their first 90 days of expectations. It never fails. We had an employee evaluation. At 90 days, they barely kept their head above water. Well, why? Because they don't know what they're supposed to have learned in that time. Other than a few day-to-day items or, the odds are they don't really know the technical skills that you've asked them to learn, right? The systems they were supposed to impact, the meetings that they were supposed to lead. No, all that stuff can be put on an expectations list. No, we fail our employees when we don't tell them what the goal is at the end of 90 days so they can ask questions and ask for help or clarity if they need be. They have to know what our expectations are for them so we can accurately tell them where or whether they're the right fit for the role. So if we don't set them up accordingly, that failure's on us. So what do these expectations need to have? Well, it needs to have a weekly schedule for them. Technical skills to know like sales software, industry contacts, workflow systems, you name it. The next set of expectations on deliverables, right? Any accounts they need to sell to, any budgets they need to work through or processes they need to write out. And lastly, what meetings, what trainings do they need to attend or lead or become competent in? If you can give them expectations for each of these, they'll be led to the standard, not left just wondering where it is. Third thing, schedule a weekly onboarding meeting to make small course corrections along the way. You got to check in on them along the way. Set 30 minutes on the calendar in a meeting that neither of you can cancel, and just ask them some simple questions. What are you seeing? We want to capture your eyes at the beginning and really see what you see. It's amazingly powerful to view your business through a new employee's eyes. What questions do you have about your job roles? Again, always supporting, always providing clarity, and really just giving them a chance to say, hey, I don't know if I understand this part of my job role. Third thing, do we have any blind spots? Allow them to speak and put words to what they're seeing and maybe improve an area that you didn't know you needed it. And lastly, here's what I see. A chance for you to praise and critique, to make small course corrections along the way, instead of just sweeping all your frustrations under the rug for months until their next eval. And then you pull the rug up and bring all that stuff out. No, give them small windows of things to change. Then you have a record for it months down the road. Because odds are, if you give them a chance to kind of course correct along the way, you'll look up 90 days from then and you'll realize, all right, they're actually where we wanted them to be. So that's it. If you can give them a detailed job role, if you can build out their first 90 days of expectations and have a weekly onboarding meeting to course correct along the way, you show them the pathway to success. Because here's the thing. Yes, this takes time. Yes, it's hard work. But you know what takes more work and more time? Starting over. Starting over with a new employee and training from scratch. No, we have to equip the employees that we have. Equip the hires that we make, not always look for the already equipped hire. When we understand and we act on that, we actually give our team the keys to success. Clear expectations, detailed training, and a system to thrive within. Hope that makes sense. I hope you can put this into practice the next time you make a new hire. It makes all the difference in long-term quality employees and quality hires. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe to our podcast and our YouTube channel right now, My Business on Purpose. Amazing stuff on there. Thanks.